In the studios today, we have with us Rita Gangwani, personality development mentor, and she has to her credit trained so many Indian ladies who have done the country proud by becoming Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss Earth, all these important pageants. Your wards have brought laurels to India, ma'am. It's indeed pleasure for us to welcome you to our studios today. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about how do you groom young ladies who represent India at these various, important places, at important functions, which carry lot of prestige, and some of the ladies have really done India proud.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for the introduction. Well, about these girls, basically my grooming involves 5 aspects of personality. I groom them physically, where I teach them what colors suit them according to their body structure, what they should wear, what hairstyles, what accessories they should carry. That is physical. Mental, I teach them how to have self-confidence, how to think positive. Then social, where I teach them etiquette in various situations in life. Spiritual, where I teach them meditation and yoga for self-improvement. And then cultural, where I teach them how to deal with people from different kinds of cultures and different countries and how to interact with them. So
That's
it's basically 5, you can say, legs to the table.
Okay, that's very well put. And then also you factor in a point that most of the ladies who represent India come from different parts of India. They all come from different cultural backgrounds. Maybe not all of them have the same kind of poise, the same kind of structured language that needs to be followed. So do you have any special courses, if I may use the word for them?
Yes, I have designed a special course for young girls, and in fact I would say it's on not only just the young girls, but nowadays in beauty pageants we have all age groups. We have beauty pageants for small children, for teenagers, for young girls, boys, and even married ladies and gentlemen. And recently there was one where it was a geriatric group. It was for grandfathers and grandmothers. So I have definitely designed a course which lasts for about a month, which covers body language, speaking skills, stage presence, the complete makeup, and how to carry your dresses in different situations, something about the Indian culture where they have to represent India abroad. So definitely there is a special course which I have designed, because for so many years I realized there are certain areas where our girls or boys who go abroad, they don't perform very well. So I'm trying to tap into those areas and trying to improve them there.
Right. And ma'am, you have been in this particular area for a long time.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about the changes that you have seen and any kind of changes you have made into your own curriculum, keeping in times the changing situations, the changing times?
Right. Well, I have been in this industry for last 29 years. Initially, when the beauty pageants used to happen, minus Miss India, which is definitely has a very special way of grooming and training the girls. But smaller pageants like state pageants like say Miss Himachal or Miss Haryana, out there it was at that time not necessary to have a balance between height and weight, and girls were just meant to answer certain questions, and it was basically a very basic kind of a contest. But over the years I have seen it's become a big industry.
Right.
For everything there is an expert.
Right.
There are experts who will teach you how to walk the ramp, the experts who will teach you how to dress, the experts who will teach you how to do makeup. So over the years there have been very different people who have come up with different specializations, and they are very advanced. And I think if a child goes through all these different aspects of grooming themselves, they eventually actually turn out to be winners. And of course there's always one winner, but they are winners in life wherever they go.
Absolutely. Can I know from you, ma'am, about the kind of situations you must have had, different kinds of situations. I'll have two sides. I'd like to ask you two sides of that. Some memorable and some, what should I say, simply very laughable or we all find ourselves in some kind of difficult situations.
Yeah.
Maybe know a couple of them from you.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about a very hilarious situation where I was teaching self-introduction to these children, and I told them, well, this is this, these are the things you have to say in introduction, with, pause and pitch and everything was done. Okay, there was one boy, he wanted to give his introduction in his own way. So he, when he came and he started giving his introduction, so he turned that whole introduction into a song. And though I must say that he was very besura, and that song actually, a very good introduction turned into a big confusion. We just didn't know what exactly he's trying to do. So I told him never to do that, never sing a song in your introduction. But to my bad luck, when we went for the final, the finale was happening, the same boy, in spite of telling him 100 times, he goes on the stage and sings the same song, and eventually lost out on his marks because he didn't perform very well.
Well, and now something about some memorable incident that you can recall.
Yes, there memorable incidents. Yes, there's one particular one where this girl had come from very, very interior village, and she didn't know how to speak in English except for good mornings and good afternoons. But I have seen that from a small local pageant, finally this girl managed to get into Miss India and was in top 10. And it was wonderful to see the change in her personality from a very absolutely raw girl to a person who's actually went out to represent India, though she still wasn't very good, and she didn't let that stop her from going ahead in life. She always went and asked for an interpreter, spoke in Hindi, and let them translate whatever she wanted to say in English. So she did very well for herself. So that's an example of somebody who never gives up in spite of any odds in life.
Right, that's a wonderful example at self-confidence. And ma'am, now we see so many pageants that take place in every part of the world, in India and other places. As someone who has watched this industry now for close to 3 decades, what is your take on this?
Well, I have 2 opinions to that. The positive opinion is that a lot of children actually want to get into a glamour industry, and beauty pageant could be a stepping stone for them to actually get into Hollywood, Bollywood, TV serials, or get into the print media. But unfortunately, a lot of people take it in a very negative sense. A lot of people think that in a beauty pageant, if a person doesn't win, they lose out on their self-confidence. Some people think it's just because that girl is beautiful, do you mean the other girls are not beautiful? So there are definitely 2 takes to it. But coming to the negative take, I would just like to say that this is just a medium. Like any other profession, it's just a medium. Everybody is welcome to come because eventually everybody gets groomed.
Right.
Yes, but to go on the international ramp, you have to have a certain height, a certain weight, a certain body proportion, where definitely some of these rules and regulations apply. But nobody should think in a negative sense that it's going to reduce the self-esteem of the other people and increase somebody else's. No, it's definitely not that.
Madam, you've seen both the things, fashion, style, because you've been involved in all these things. What are the differences between these 2, fashion and style?
Okay, now it's a vast difference, and I think people need to understand this. Fashion is a trend. It's a trend which keeps changing. What is happening today, it can change according to the season. It can change according to the latest colors which are in. It can change according to the latest the style of dress which is in. It can change according to the fabrics. So fashion is something which is ongoing process. It keeps changing, and sometimes old fashions keep repeating themselves. So it's a cycle. Whatever has happened in the past will definitely come back again, and then it will become past. So it's a cycle. And it keeps changing. What is a style? A style is your self-statement, what you are, what image you want to project to the world. So it is your own personal branding. So style is something which people, and let me tell you, style is also sometimes very dangerous because it can stereotype people. A lot of people put themselves in a particular mold of styling, and sometimes they want to change their style or change their image, and it becomes very difficult for them to change. But style, I would suggest to people, if they really want to follow style, they should sit down and think seriously what kind of an image they're wanting to project. Are they wanting to look like a fashion designer? They want to look like an educationist? They want to look like a white collar person, or they want to look like somebody who's from a journalism? So a lot of people dress themselves accordingly, and style is something which sets you apart from others because you're not following anything specific. So that is what style is.
And what are the latest trends in fashion?
Okay. Actually, in fashion, unfortunately or fortunately, trends are set by celebrities. And a lot of people follow pictures for the trends. Some of the people follow some celebrities as their role models. But at the moment, if you ask me, what is in trend, I would say the princess who came, the duchess who came from...
Princess Kate.
Yeah, the princess came from
United
UK.
Kingdom.
She has put electric blue color into fashion because she carried it so beautifully. So everybody is now turning towards electric blue. But yes, otherwise keeping the trends of summer in mind, orange, yellow, whites, these are the color which are in trends. And lot of, instead of tight clothing, lot of, a lot of loose clothing like pajamas and palazzos and loose kurtis, all those things are in. So lighter the better.
Right. How do you think that people in India follow fashion?
Unfortunately, people in India are fashion victims. They do not follow fashion the way it should be followed. See, as I told you, for us, the fashion trend setters are the celebrities. Now, people, when they have to follow a fashion, they have to see whether they match the particular person they are trying to follow. A particular film star may have a particular height, a particular complexion, a particular plus and minus points in their body, and they have their own fashion designers who teach them. But for a common man, we just look at them and we think, उसने पहना है उस movie में, मेरे पे भी उतना ही अच्छा लगेगा. And then they start copying those people, and unfortunately, instead of looking nice, they start looking odd. And I had written a very beautiful poem on those people who are fashion victims. I would just like to recite that skin baked, makeup caked, smile bright, teeth white, claws sharp, nail art, lashes long, visual thong, latest trend, just can't bend, statue look, selfie took. So unfortunately, people are dressing for selfie. They are not actually dressing for according to the fashion. So even if they have to follow fashion, they should remember what is their color complexion, what is their color tone, what is their height, what is their body structure, and accordingly they should follow fashion, not blindly.
Right. Can you give us some fashion tips?
The fashion tips. Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that people should always dress up according to the time of the day. There are certain colors which should never be worn during, absolute afternoon. For example, bright red and bright yellow and parrot green. These are the colors which are not supposed to be worn in the daylight. So stick to pastels during the day and go for darker colors in the evening, and the most popular ones are black, white and red. Then second thing, dress up according to your body structure. If you are short at height, then you should know that anything which is multicolored, they'll make them look more shorter. So for short people, it should be monochrome, just one color through and through. That will make them look taller. Or they can have vertical lines when they wear. And people should also dress up according to their body shape. Some people are fat, some people are thin. So they should know which is the part they want to hide and which is the part they want to highlight. So the part which they want to hide should be in a darker color and the part which they want to highlight should be on the lighter color. So according to the time, according to the season, for example, you cannot wear a cotton sari in winter season because it's not.
True.
Or you cannot wear a net sari in the winter season. That will not go. So keep the time of the day, the season, the body structure, the height, and of course your color tone, because everybody doesn't have the same complexion and the color tone. So get yourself checked. When you go to a shop, you should always ask the salesman that he should look at your color tone and tell you which colors will suit you and which colors will not. Otherwise, a bright person will look dull and a dull person will definitely look bright. So these are some of the things they should keep in mind.
Right, ma'am. You started as an army officer. You're
That's
the first lady from the state of Himachal Pradesh to actually become an officer in the Indian Army.
That's right.
So can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the Indian Army?
Okay. Well, I was the first lady army officer from the MNS course of Himachal Pradesh. MNS is Military Nursing Services. And my experience has been, in fact, I really miss those times, has been really wonderful. We were treated with so much of respect and so much of discipline. So I would say the D's of the army is, one is the discipline, one is the dedication, one is the drive, one is the direction, and of course it finally takes you to the destination of being an officer. It was hard. Let me tell you, it was not easy getting up early in the morning, going through those drills, which is difficult because you can see I'm not very tall, I'm short at height. So at certain points for me it was very, very difficult. But going through that and living in that disciplined life has made me what I am today. And I would suggest each and every girl, if she can manage to get into the Indian Armed Forces and with pride say that I served my nation, I think that's the best thing one can do.
Well, after that, you became a personality development mentor. You're self-taught because you did a course from a Swiss finishing school, and you also had to take care of your children.
That's right.
So, how did you manage this aspect? Because coming from an army background to a completely new kind of setup, how was the transition like?
Well, I will not say it was a completely different setup, because in the army we had a subject called OLQ, Officers Like Qualities, where we were taught how to eat with fork and spoon, how to sit properly, how to stand properly. So I would say that the roots of what I wanted to do in future were already sown in the army. So the moment I came out of the army and I looked around, I found people didn't have the right tehzeeb or the right etiquette. In spite of having very good education, many a times they used to fail in their interviews. So I thought, why don't I pursue this and help these people to find their dreams? So I completed my MBA after I left the army. And then I got into a finishing school. I learned etiquette. I learned the basics of personality. Joined hands with somebody who was running the first finishing school of India, and started teaching people all aspects of personality, which I've already mentioned. So it was not actually a transition. It was something which I carried forward from the army. And as far as me having little children, well, I have realized that for a woman, if she wants to have a career as well as a home life, she needs to learn to have some team building done at home. So she needs to delegate stuff, she needs to know how to cope, and of course keep everyone happy. And if she knows how to divide her time right, I think she will be able to really do well.
One aspect I'd like to ask you, ma'am, that when we talk of grooming, nowadays we see lots of even politicians, very seasoned politicians, they have been groomed as how to dress up, how to talk,
Yes.
kind of this American political thing coming into India. So
Absolutely.
can you tell us something about this aspect also?
Yes. Unfortunately, if you actually look at what happens around in the political scenario, I think the biggest thing which happens in the parliament, which is always running, is the discipline is biggest problem. And sometimes when these people, they speak to media, they use the body language which is sending out the wrong signals. So it became very important that they be taught what are the power colors. They are sitting on a power seat. So what are the power colors? What are the power gestures they should use? What is the importance of eye contact when they talk to people? How they should talk to people and keep their calm in spite of questions which might hurt them. So there are a lot of aspects in grooming these people where they need to project the right image of India abroad. For example, if you look at politicians from US or UK, you would say they have a very controlled body language when they speak. They know which side to stand when they have to shake hands, and why not to touch their hair, and why not to rub their nose when they are speaking to people. So there are a lot of gestures which need to be informed to them that they might send a wrong signal. So it is extremely important for them to learn these. In fact, for everyone in everyday life, people must get groomed, because nowadays we have gone global. Education is not the only thing which matters. What matters is a packaging, how well you are packed. So if I go and buy a soap, and if I like the packaging, only then I will buy. I'm not going to see what is inside from in a shop. So similarly, people will look at your image, your packaging, and if they like you, then success is always behind you. Nobody can stop you from reaching there.
Thank you so much for sparing your time and talking to us about so many aspects of grooming and personality development. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me over. Thank you.
Thank you very much.